अस्सलाम वालेकुम. I'm
वालेकुम
Imran
अस्सलाम.
Batala, your host. मरियम, आज हमारे साथ है मरियम सलीम खान एंड दिस इज वीक 1 डे 2 ऑफ स्टार्टअप समर स्कूल. और आज भी हम लीडरशिप अपनी स्प्रिंट कंटिन्यू करेंगे. और मरियम सलीम खान इज ए कॉर्पोरेट ट्रेनर. शी इज ए एक्सपर्ट ऑन सॉफ्ट स्किल्स. और थैंक यू वेरी मच मरियम फॉर जॉइनिंग अस फॉर सॉफ्ट स्किल सेशन.
Thank you so much, Imran, for having me here. And it's an immense pleasure to join this Startup Summer School. Amazing initiative by CGI. And I'm really thrilled to actually start to give a small session over here today. I am also, okay, I think I should get started with it now. I'm also a life coach, and I've recently started my startup by the name of NeuroNurture, and which is a behavioral therapy and consultancy firm in Pakistan. Um, why did I feel the need to start NeuroNurture? That itself is it's a one in session, on its own, and I have been working. I've been working for like past 10 years now, and this was the time that I felt that now this is the time that I should take a leap of faith and start a startup. And when I heard about CGI starting with a startup summer school, I thought that my input was also would give benefit to people who actually have business ideas, but they are afraid that they are not that which what is the right time to start a startup. One thing is that. Second, NeuroNurture is actually a behavioral therapy and consultancy firm. What I felt the need that in Pakistan we don't give a lot of awareness. We don't give a lot of preference to mental health awareness, mental health, or in itself mental well-being. Therapy is a luxury, or it's a stigma. People think that behavior is something that is actually what a person is. But at NeuroNurture, we want to tell people that a person is not the behavior. A behavior can be changed. We should accept the person and change the behavior. With this motto, I am also attempting to affect positively the mindsets of people of Pakistan and, of course, globally. As I was studying and as I was researching on mindsets, I came across Carol Dweck, who is actually the pioneer for this research. She has written a book called Mindset, and which talks about different kinds of mindset and what mindset we should have in order to survive in any kind of situation in this world. So I have chosen the topic growth mindset today, as you can see on the screen, and this is the name of the book. Mindsets is the new psychology of success. Carol Dweck is from Stanford University. She is a professor there, and she has been. It's like a decade-long research that she has put up in a book form. I can give you the link to the audio book as well, and by the end of the session, which you can look into and listen to at your own ease. So, what exactly she talks about? Before I talk about that, I want to say that during this pandemic, each one of us, everyone has been affected. So this pandemic has become an equalizer. Uh, we have found ourselves being emotionally challenged, being mentally, physically, socially, and not to forget economically challenged as well. We have been overwhelmed. And this has happened after a very long time. And to tell you seriously, that is probably because that is what was needed to bring about a radical shift. Now, when I say a radical shift, the radical shift was needed in terms of attitudes and perspectives and mindsets. There has been a stark shift on both the consumers end and on the providers end as well. The
Excuse
demands
me,
have changed. Yes,
Mariam, we just need one interruption, please.
yes, please.
जरूर बैठ सकती है वाइस चांसलर लॉ अकेडमी यूनिवर्सिटी हमारे साथ हैं सर मरियम
Okay.
सलीम खान.
Mariam, I'm extremely, I mean, you're welcome over there because I think I'm listening to you for the first time here. Although we are very proud to be presenting a lot of people for our children, because this is the experience which has to be actually shared with these youngsters so that they can not only emulate, but I think they can learn a lot. I would not be coming
Sure.
in between you and them. Please continue. In case any query I have, I'll be during your lecture. I would be coming in sometime. Thank you, and
Thank you.
please
Most
once again,
welcome. Most
once again,
welcome, sir.
welcome on board.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Most welcome. Sure, I would continue. Um, yes, so I was talking about that this is the first time after a long, long time that we have been overwhelmed by this radical shift. The radical shift has been in perspectives, in our mindsets, and the consumers' behavior and the providers' behaviors and their demands. All that has seen a radical shift as well. We need to. The customer has changed completely due to this pandemic globally. We need to understand the customer now as we are going to start with our business ideas again. This is like a survival of the fittest in the digital age. Okay, and the fittest would be the one who is the most, you can say, who is the one who can actually abide by change in a true sense. We are uncertain, but if we could channel this uncertainty with the right mindset, we would survive longer. Yes, mental well-being is something that will lead to effective learning. But before I talk about mental well-being, let's take a step back and discuss what exactly is a mindset and what exactly is a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. In simple words, I would try to incorporate Urdu as well. Not that good at that, but I'll try my best. So you've heard people saying कि इसका तो mindset ही खराब है. There is a problem with the mindset और stereotypical labeling करते हुए we tell them कि ये इसका तो mindset इसकी generation से चलता हुआ आ रहा है. So what exactly is the mindset? Mindset is how you see the world. Now, it's the perception of it's your perception of the world. It's not the world itself. In neuro linguistic programming, I'm also a master practitioner for neuro linguistic programming. I'm a therapist for that. So in neuro linguistic programming, your five senses perceive the world, but you perceive it as per how you are. Your filters, your demographics, your geography, your environment, your brought up, your nurturing, all of that has affected the perception of the world, your perception of the world. Okay. In neurolinguistic programming, we call it model of the world. So everyone, each one of us, whoever has joined the session, whoever lives in this world, has a distinctive model of the world. The moment we start accepting their model of the world, and that is the moment we will start understanding them as well. That is what the shift of the mindset is called. Okay, so for example, I'll share a mindset with you. In 1990s, there was a mindset that which was called self-esteem movement. Okay, in that self-esteem movement, what used to happen that people that it was told, actually people or the researchers all over the world, they told us, everyone in the world, especially the teachers or the homemakers or the corporates, that you have to praise the individual in order to boost their productivity and in order to motivate them to achieve better. But what happened? It backfired. This is the widely discredited theory now, this self-esteem theory. It is not, it is redundant, it is not being used, it is obsolete. Why? Because Carol Dweck actually was the one to pinpoint that this is not, this is a failure, this theory is a failure. Why? Because the moment you start using these adjectives like you're brilliant, you're smart, you're attractive, you're charming, you can score A, you're actually confining them in a box. You're confining the individual in a box of expectations. Okay. For example, you're putting a label on them. And you know what they hear? They hear that, for example, you say, oh, you're very smart, you scored an A in maths. So what they hear that, okay, so that means have to look smart. If I've scored an A, I have to look smart, and I cannot score an A if I'm not looking smart. So there is a negative reinforcement of the word smart. Same goes for any other positive word that you use in order to motivate the other person. Words have an impact. We all know that. So these empty praises, they actually lead to the acceptance of mediocrity. Now, what is happening? The person is not trying to change. The person whom you are praising will not change for good or for bad. Okay? They will fear failure. They will fear feedback. They will fear that if they accepted this feedback, it will take them down the pedestal of smart that someone has put them on. So it becomes a taboo if they think that they have failed. This becomes a taboo for them. So Carol Dweck actually pinpointed that this is the use of adjectives to praise someone in order to boost their self-esteem is redundant. It is not. It should not be used anymore. So what should happen now? There should be a shift in the mindset. What should be the shift in the mindset? The mindset shift would be that let's understand what kind of mindsets are. One mindset says that intelligence is inborn. The other mindset says the intelligence can be acquired, it can be developed. Okay. These are two mindsets, fixed mindset and growth mindset. I will give you some statements and you can tell me which is a fixed mindset and which is a growth mindset, and or which one do you have. The statement is your intelligence is something very basic about you and you cannot change it much. You can give your answers in the comments. The second statement is you can learn new things, but you cannot really change how intelligent you are. And the third statement is no matter how much intelligence you have, you can always change it quite a bit. Which one do you think is the growth mindset, and or which one is the fixed mindset, and which one do you have? If I give you the answer, I would say the first two are the fixed mindsets, and the last one is the growth mindset. Just imagine what this pandemic has done to all of us. We used to think that we cannot survive without going out. We cannot survive without restaurants. We cannot survive without hanging out. We cannot survive without a 9-to-5 job. We cannot survive without a brick and mortar building to go to in terms of office. Okay. We used to think that digital presence or online shopping is not something that we can be prone to. All of this has changed. The world has come down to, has put us down in a situation that in which we have been forced to change the way we perceive the world, to change the way we have, to change the way we live now, right? But most of us have yet not accepted it. Why? Because we have a fixed mindset. We think that change is fearful. We think that change is something that is going to harm our experience that we've had so far, our learnings that we've had so far, our customs and our traditions. Okay, it is like taking us out of our comfort zones. Okay, the fixed mindset is afraid of going outside the comfort zone. Growth mindset begins with an insight into why school children got excited about difficult problems while others got anxious. So what happened? Carol Dweck went to a school once upon a time, and she learned that a group of children, when given problems other than the course problems, the course book problems, they loved it. They loved the fact that they were failing them. They loved the fact that they were doing them wrong. And there's another group of children when the similar problems were given to them, out of course problems, they started reacting. They were like, what is happening to us? This is this is out of the course. This is not what the teacher taught us. I'm going to fail, etc., etc. So they started throwing tantrums. So what? So this gave her the idea that yes, there is some kind of mindset which is letting one group enjoy the failure and the change, and one group hate the failure and change. That was the start of the distinction of fixed and growth mindsets. One more thing that I want to talk about that I've missed here is, yes, the praises that I was talking about. In the fixed mindsets, when you praise someone, the praise stays with them and they keep on living their lives proving it. For example, if you call someone, you're an amazing trainer, you always seem so confident on stage, you never lose confidence. You know what will happen? That is going to affect negatively how that the person will have to prove every time he goes on stage that he has to look confident. So once, if he ever loses confidence on stage, that's going to shatter the whole self-image that he has, and he is going to probably never be able to get up or get back on feet again, right? So what are we doing? We are actually praising someone, but no, we should not praise. So what should we praise? We should praise the process, not the person. We should praise the effort, not the person. We should not label the person. We should label or praise the effort. That okay, wow. So probably today you have done um, you have done a great preparation. That's so obvious because you're so confident on stage. So we will have to change the way we praise people as well. That's one step towards going towards growth mindset. Okay, from fixed to growth mindset. Now, if you see this slide, this is a distinction between growth and fixed mindset. If I read this for you, it's like a contrast. Okay, a fixed mindset will avoid problems, will constantly try to prove himself, will be of the fact that अच्छा अगर मैं लीडर हूं तो मैं इनबॉर्न लीडर हूं, और ये लीडर है तो ये लीडर इसलिए बिकॉज इसमें इनबॉर्न क्वालिटी है. No, this is something that we need to change. So for example, I'll give you an example. Recently I spoke to someone. The person is let's say 45 years of age, and he has been a businessman throughout his life. But he was having a lot of crisis in the business lately, and a lot of setbacks were happening. So what I suggested that why don't you? He was actually working with someone, and he was facing a lot of setbacks in that. I was like, why don't you start your own setup, and why don't you start something different and on a small scale, and at a different location. So the person said that very firmly that no, I've been working there for past 30 years. That that place, that location is lucky, has been lucky for me, or used to be lucky for me. And I know those people, and I know that work, and I don't think so I'll be able to survive it. And if I do this, if I start something new, that's the moment that I figured out, okay, this is the fixed mindset talking right now. Had that person listened to me or realized that there is always a higher chance of success if you try something new. Yes.
मरीम अगर इसको फुल स्लाइड मोड में डाल दें बिकॉज ये लोग इस टेक्स्ट को पढ़ नहीं पा रहे हैं.
Sorry. Okay, wait. Like this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's better. Let me just show you the growth mindset, fixed mindset first, so that you can look into that, and then I will tell you the growth mindset.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, this is the fixed mindset. Okay, I hope this is clear. right? So you're avoiding the problems clearly. The moment you start avoiding a problem, mindset. The moment you start having a problem with a competitor, mindset. The moment you start accepting the fact intelligence comes by birth, you're a fixed mindset. The moment you take every feedback personally, मतलब एक बंदा आपसे कॉन्वर्जेशन कर रहा है और वो कोई ओपिनियन दे रहा है किसी रैंडम थर्ड पार्टी के बारे में एंड यू थिंक ओ प्रॉब्ली ही इज डिफरेंट टू मी व्हाट इज इट दिस इज अ फिक्स्ड माइंडसेट okay when you keep on enjoying your past achievements you're like you know what I hit the sales target in my last organization in my third quarter. You know, I used to be an amazing teacher. You know, I used to secure a position, etc., etc. When you keep on enjoying the bliss of the past and you don't want to move forward, or you don't talk about now, or you don't talk about future, fixed mindset. When you stay by the book, for example, if I'm telling someone, let me give you another example. If you see a person, not that the person never used to love animals or love taking care of them throughout his life, but suddenly after some time he starts doing that. He starts showing love for animals. He starts probably adopting animals as well. So majority of the people you would see that they would judge and they would say that you never used to do. How? Why have you started again? This does not seem you. This is not you, etc., etc. So what are they doing? It's not you who is the issue. It's them who the issue is that they are not able to perceive change in you because they are not able to accept change in themselves. That's what a fixed mindset does. This is what a growth mindset does. You love problems. When you see a problem, you're like excited to find a solution. Okay. The global pandemic has put us in this situation that let's figure out another way of doing things. Okay, the chai khanas are closed, the chai walas are closed, the eateries are closed. What other business ideas would be needed now? The shops are closed, the brands are probably shutting down. So, what brands would work? Uber and Careem are. Careem is shutting down businesses in a couple of cities of Pakistan. What's going to take over? So many things can be figured out if you just expand your horizon and think about them. Every problem has a solution hidden in it. So when you accept challenges, when you adapt and advance. Okay, one more example for you. There's an organization where they used to use for project management. They used to use a linear approach. What do we call that? Waterfall methodology, and they were very fine with it. For to run one project, they would spend years and years doing meetings and meetings, going back and forth for approvals, etc., etc. But nothing was happening. There was no concrete result of that, and a lot of time was being wasted. So somebody suggested, why don't you use agile methodology? And why don't you start using, coming up with Scrum Masters? Why don't you start having sprints, etc., etc. So the majority of people started lashing out. That how can you say that we've been using this methodology of waterfall for a long, long time, and how can you say that agile is going to work? And we will have to do this, we will have to experiment that. There will be a lot of waste of time, etc., etc. You know what they were trying to do? They did not want to learn the skill. They did not want to start from scratch. They had passed their, as per them, they had passed their learning period. But with a growth mindset or in a growth mindset, there is no end, there is no limit for learning. Every moment of every of your life should be spent on learning something new, and never feel that you have learned enough. Okay, that's what a growth mindset does. So you adapt and you advance. Okay, you constantly improve. You don't prove You constantly improve. You welcome competition. And most importantly, there's no such thing as failure. There's only feedback. Okay, even in NLP, there's only feedback. Let me tell you one more amazing fact about mindset as per NLP, that there is no such thing as judgment, suggestion, or mind read. If you stop doing these three things, you will be able to see reality at least as what the reality is. You stop judging people or judging things. You stop suggesting anything, and you stop mind reading. For example, you say, okay, so he seems okay. So he was talking about his ex. So probably he probably misses his ex. He probably wants to go back to him. No, he hasn't said that to you. Unless something is said in words, unless the body language approves and matches the statement, you cannot be sure that the other person is saying something. You should not mind read, you should not judge, you should not suggest. This is against the rules of having a growth mindset. Okay, let me try to hold on. Okay. Yes. So as per this picture, I have stated, I think I've covered all the points of what a fixed and a growth mindset is. I'll quickly run through them again. There's a lot more that needs to be covered, after this. So a fixed mindset avoids challenges, shies away from the things you don't know, and is unable. The person cannot handle criticism. So you've seen a lot of people uh, to whom you give a little feedback, and they think as if that was a taunt on their intelligence. That was a taunt on their upbringing. That was a label. That was a stereotype. A lot of movements these days are also on the labels and the stereotypes. Because again, we have stopped broadening our horizons and giving a bird's eye view, giving an overview to things that are happening around us. One more thing, we think that there is a misconception about growth mindset. Also, one more thing, that if you have a growth mindset, that means you will be highly productive, or a growth mindset means to put a lot of effort. It's not just that. It's not just that. Growth mindset means consistency, perseverance, and it means learning new strategies, experimenting with new strategies, and most importantly, growth mindset welcomes mentorship. You can never learn enough unless you have people to guide you. When I heard about Startup Summer School, started being held by CGI, the idea that they were calling for mentors and coaches, I was extremely happy to see the approach that yes, startups, even if they have a good enough money or investors with them, they would always need mentorship of people who have been through the phases and the challenges in the past, or with collaborative work with those mentors, they could avoid, they could avoid let's say they could avoid being redundant, not making mistakes, because making mistakes is absolutely fine, but just don't be obsolete. So mentors are very important when it comes to growth mindset. A fixed mindset would easily quit. A growth mindset would always persist and stay consistent. If one business idea is not working, try another one. If one mentor is not giving you the right direction, try another one. Just do not quit. Just do not lose the focus. Never be threatened by anything. So that's what a fixed and a growth mindset is. Okay, let me just give it a quick zoom in. Sorry. Huh. Let me just zoom in for you guys so that you can see what a growth. This is a fixed mindset. I hope you're able to see now. Okay. Avoid challenges, shy away from things you don't know, unable to handle criticism, talent is static, do not carry any actions, focus on proving yourself, threatened by the success. See, you're actually losing your precious time in the race of proving yourself. That's what a growth mindset does to you. No, you don't have to prove yourself. It's fine to fail. It's absolutely fine to start again. Okay. And it's absolutely fine to seem as if you don't know anything. It's absolutely fine. You see, if you have a growth mindset, you see challenges and opportunities. You acknowledge the weaknesses. You find every criticism as constructive. You persist. You focus on the process instead of the end result. You be inspired by others. And yes, one very important point that is given here, which I'm going to talk about in the coming slides, is about training your mind. I will tell you how to train your mind as well. If you have a growth mindset, you can actually, your mind is actually, this brain is a muscle. Okay, so you can train it to perform in a different way. Yes, a lot of experiments and research has already gone into it, and neuro-linguistic programming is actually one of the methods to train your brains. So I will give you a quick tips as well about how to do it, how to actually acquire a growth mindset. And one very important thing. This is for the people who want to actually hire resource new teams in their new startups. Always look for people, one, who have a growth mindset. Second, who are corporate nightmares. Okay, I'm not saying that people who have come from a corporate background are not fit for you. No, no, no. Don't say this is again. Would be labeling them. But again, corporate nightmares mean people who are rigid, people who just go by the book, go by the SOPs. Don't hire them. Hire people who can actually function simultaneously, also by the book, but also take a lot of interest in taking risks, take a lot of interest in trying something new, take a lot of interest in making a brainstorm chart and making a lot of solutions out of it, and then trying one solution, and then even if that solution is something that is against their lifetime experience, etc. So what you need to do, you need to hire people who could actually bring some change. People who do not like sitting in hour-long meetings. People who actually love doing work fast, who like agile methodology. Yes.
एक रिक्वेस्ट आ रही है बार बार कि people are loving the content and they want to see the content as well. So अगर आप इसको full screen mode में कर दें
full screen mode like this. No, not like this. Okay. Hold on.
Maybe full screen. ये window full screen पे आ जाए.
Like this.
Yes.
और okay.
इसको zoom in कर दें.
इसको zoom in कर दो.
This is best.
Right. Okay. Now let me see if we have covered everything. Right. Good. Is this fine?
This is more readable. और इसको भी further अगर आप zoom in कर लें थोड़ा सा तो it would be even better.
Good enough?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I will share. I will share the slides as well with you guys. If you have, if you want these slides, I'm going to share the slides. Don't worry.
ये बहुत सारी request आ रही है कि slides भी share कर दो.
Okay, I will share the slides. Don't worry. By the way, the content is thoroughly available online as well. But again, it's always good to see it in a summarized form. So I'm going to share the slides. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I do share any questions if you have. If something is not understandable, so I'm going to repeat it.
Sure. Thank you.
Acha. Okay. Now let's talk about startups coming up with business ideas. as we can see that this is the age of digital transformation. The age of data is already there. Experiments with blockchain technology, AI, AR, VR, that's being happening. Okay. Simultaneously, people are going towards digital transformation. They're transforming the existing brick and mortar or the existing, you can say, traditional methods into digitized formats. They're using the method. They're using the technologies like RPA, robotic process automation, to to let go of the repeated or repetitive tasks or the clerical tasks, and so that the human capital can be used in a much larger can be used in analytical roles as well, in strategic roles as well. So this is what's happening, globally. In that, you can only survive if you have a growth mindset. Now, if one person in the organization has a growth mindset, and the person, let's say, is an AVP at an organization, but he's not a VP, or he's not an SVP, or he's not a C-level executive. So how will he be able to influence change amongst the whole team or the management? It will be quite hard for that person. The growth mindset needs to be acquired by the management first, and then it needs to trickle down. Okay, it needs to be simultaneously present in all the processes, starting from the onboarding of the employees to the final evaluation of the employees, to the feedback structure in the organization, to the values. It should be incorporated in that. It is called a growth mindset culture, GMC, that organizations are experimenting with, and yes, they are adopting it these days. So you need to hire people who can run with you no matter what. They don't stop your growth. They are with you, even if they are, let's say, 40 years old, 50 years old. They are still open to learn new things. For example, teachers nowadays are giving online sessions, and I can see what a disaster is happening there. Why? Because they have never imagined giving an online session before. So it's not about not knowing the technology. It's about not feeling comfortable with it. You can always feel you can only feel comfortable with it if you like change, you accept change, and that can happen with this growth mindset. This is something that I wanted to say. Yes, senior leadership support is critical to implementing GMC. Growth mindset can be built into various talent process, as I told you earlier, from onboarding to performance management. And I've already told you, growth mindset does not mean boundless growth or unlimited productivity. This is one statement that was shared with me. Let me just make it more clear. Yes, this is one remark that was shared with one of the colleagues with me. She said that, I had recently applied for this job, but I almost didn't apply because I was sort of taken aback when I saw the job post because I didn't have all these qualifications. But then the growth mindset kicked in, and I thought, well, I can do this. I know I can do this job, but I may not meet all these qualifications yet. This is the target word for you guys. Yet. If they hire you as an HOD at an organization, you used to be a manager before, you've never run a department, it is absolutely fine. Please apply for the position. Do not say that you do not have experience. You will only have experience if you work. This is the paradox. So accept it. You can always learn on job. Be open-minded. Welcome every information, every learning point that you can, and you will do just fine. Okay. So the word is yet. You're not there as yet, but you will be. Okay. If you have the right mindset, if you have the right approach towards learning or towards being better. Now let's say we've understood what a growth mindset is. I'm going to repeat the growth mindset again by the end of the. Yes, please.
ये मैंने स्क्रीन पे शेयर कर दिया आपसे.
Let me open the screen. Hold on.
मैं read out कर देता हूँ.
Can you read out? Yeah, please. Thank you.
Taming mind is a process and it works, but while doing so, there are days on which you either depress or feel anxiety or anger. How to manage our mind on those days?
Beautiful question. um, जल्दी आ गया इसी के बारे में बात करनी थी अभी. Let me answer your question first, and then I'm going to build upon it. um, when I say mindset, it is not a mindset for a day. Okay? It is not a mindset for a week. It is inculcated in your mind. That is how your mind functions. But there can be days, it's very human to feel anxious, to feel depressed, and to feel stressed, because we have those hormones in us. Okay? We need to study the hormones. We need to build up on the hormones that can keep us happy and de-stressed. And how we can do that, I will tell you how we can do that as well. Okay? It's absolutely fine to feel depressed, but please be very conscious. If the depression days are exceeding, you need help. If anxiety is affecting the results, or the actions, or affecting your life, you need help. Okay? Now let me explain one quickly. I'll tell you one thing. You know, when you get depressed when you are living in the past memories, getting stuck on one trauma, getting stuck on one bad feedback, getting stuck on what used to happen is depression. Anxiety is about the future. When you don't know what's going to happen, when you're completely uncertain, well, everyone is uncertain. The only certainty is death. Apart from that, nothing is uncertain. Nothing is certain. The change is certain. But other than that, everything is uncertain. However, when you're anxious, you're extremely agitated about what's going to happen. How will that happen? What will happen to me? What will happen to my relation? Will I do good? Will I do not do good? What if people? So the what ifs start pitching you. That's that's what causes anxiety and leads to a panic attack. Sometimes, sometimes a past trauma can also lead to a panic attack in the now. That happens when there is PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, when that one memory or one event is not processed by your brain, has not been processed by your brain, that it still affects you. That can happen as well. So understand how your brain works, how your mind works, and how you can bring it back. Meditation and mindfulness. These two words, trust me, they have been. I've been working on and researching on this for quite some time now, like for 4 or 5 years now, and I've seen people using these words as if they are like what morning show jargons, or trends that is happening in the world, and they're just buzzwords, right? The way design thinking started becoming a buzzword once upon a time. So similarly, meditation, mindfulness, this is just a buzzword. People see it as a buzzword. No, it's not a buzzword. It's a universal fact. When you do not live in the now, you're either living in the past or in the future. That's why you're depressed or you're anxious. When you live in the now, you will see that right now my five senses are perceiving this reality, and in this reality, what do I need to do? Should I think about what's going to happen? Should I think about what used to happen? No, I should think about what I have to do right now. And let's do it. Let's see what happens. This is the mindset that you need to train. Okay, then I say train your mind. Mindset will be inculcated once you train your mind. And how do you train your mind? You practice. Like every other thing, you make it a habit. Okay, I'll tell you how you do that. I hope I've answered the question. Yes, just understand this very important point. You will be amazed. You will be like, what have we been doing this whole life? Every perception, as we talk about mindsets and how to cultivate it, okay? So think about it, understand your mind. Every perception of yours is a projection. What does that mean? If you think your colleague is jealous of you, if you think your spouse is not good enough for you, if you think your superiors are being are being biased to you, or are not favoring you, if you think you always face all this trouble and you never find a good friend, so newsflash, it's all you. It's all you. Nothing that you perceive, like everything that you perceive, is coming from you. It is you who is jealous. It is you who is not good enough. It is you who has the tendency to be biased. It is you who likes to mistrust people. That's why attracts mistrusted people, or attracts bad friends. Energy attracts energy. It is you who has the bad energy. Everything is a choice. Every perception is projection. Okay? Yeah. So what I'm trying to tell you, I'm not trying to blame you. I'm trying to tell you, dude, brothers, sisters, take charge. Okay? Take charge of your life. The thing is to take it inside and realize that pretty much everything is you. If you have a negative emotion, the more likely it would be a projection of your own negative emotion. You feel that, oh my God, that person is looking at me in a strange way. Well, no, you are looking at the person in a strange way. Sometimes you think, you see someone, you're like, okay, that face seems familiar. Well, guess what? That face seems familiar because you have seen a similar kind of face in your past that had a similar reaction. That's why. So it is not the person who has an issue, it is your perception of the similar kind of person in the past. The extent that you deny something outside yourself, the stronger is the fact that it is you. When you say, I know this is violence, I hate violence, I will never accept violence, I can never be that violent. Well, guess what? The moment you perceived it, that was the truth. That was the proof that you yourself have it. I'll explain it again. You see someone, you see a movie, let's say you see Greyhound. There's a great movie of Tom Hanks going on these days, Greyhound, and you see the whole movie, and you find it a little violent, and you find it a little, let's say, unjust. Then there's another movie of Leonardo DiCaprio these days on Netflix called Body of Lies. You see a lot of unjust attitude, or unjust or violent attitude happening in the movie, and you're like, I hate it, I don't like it. Guess what? The moment you perceived it, it proved the fact that you yourself have the tendency to become that violent. If you cannot perceive bad in people, that means you yourself do not have bad in you. If you cannot perceive good in people, that means you yourself do not have good in yourself. Try to understand it. Let me explain it in one in another way. For example, there's one girl. She's not able to find people whom she can trust. Very simple statement. I'm unable to find friends whom I can trust. Okay? I told the person that it is because you yourself are not trustworthy. I asked her to try to reflect on how she behaves during the day, what thoughts she has about other people. And guess what? She figured out, yes, it was she who was not trustworthy enough for other people. The moment she started becoming trustworthy for other people, she started finding people who are trustworthy. That's how it is. Perception is projection. If you understand this, this is the first step for inculcating a growth mindset. Now you train your mind. I heard this poem by Samuel Beckett when I was 10 years old. Our teacher quoted it once upon a time in the class, and this has stayed with me since then. And now it is making a lot of sense. This is what a growth mindset is in a nutshell. Ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail better, or fall again, fall better. Okay? There's no such thing as failure, there's only feedback. So train your mind, nurture, environment, create an environment. You seek mentors, you experiment with new strategies, you meditate, you become mindful, you practice gratitude, you talk about good things, you notice good things. You will train your mind to become to start having a growth mindset. And yes, one quick nugget for you is make things a habit. Consistency can make things a habit. Waking up in the morning can be very hard for a lot of people, but that can be a first step for you. So when you wake up in the morning every day consistently, that will train your mind to make it a habit. Once that has become a habit, the rest of the things will start getting into place too. So make things a habit. That is how you train your mind. Yes, one after perception is projection, and after everything is your choice. This is one more thing that you need to understand. Take it today. Okay. Cause and effect. It's not that Newton law of third law of motion. No, it's not that. It's not karma. Are you at cause or are you at effect? When you are at cause, it means that you take charge, that you take responsibility of everything, that you are empowered, that you think you have a choice. When you are at effect, it means you blame others for everything that is happening to you. You think that you do not have a choice. You feel disempowered. You feel that you don't have a charge. You don't have. You can't take charge of your life. You feel that others are, running your life. That's where you are. That's when you are at effect. I will show you some statements and I will give you answers with them as well. But I will leave the statement for a couple of seconds on the screen so that you can figure out whether this is a cause statement or an effect statement. What you need to do is, if you talk like that, that means you are at effect. If you are at effect, that means you have a fixed mindset. But if you talk like the other way, that means you are at cause. If you are at cause, that means you have a growth mindset. Okay, so let's see. Before I show you this is a little convolutory. I'll show you that, but let me just show you the examples first. Now look at this. I've given you the answers already. I'm fat because I have a slow metabolism. There's nothing I can do about it. Yes. Okay. First statement is, I'm doing this just so you can see the statement clearly. I think, let's try again once. Yes, I'm fat because I have a slow metabolism. There's nothing I can do about it. Have you heard those people who say, "मैं पतली नहीं हो सकती, मेरी हड्डी चौड़ी है," right? So that's an effect statement. Okay, this is an excuse. The moment you hear excuses, yourself making excuses or others, that means the person is is at the effect side. My metabolism is slow, but I can change it through balanced diet and exercise. Very obvious. It's a cause statement. It's a growth mindset statement. You can change it. You have the ability and the resources to do it. There are no jobs for people of my age. That statement. I've seen a lot of people these days saying that due to the pandemic. Yes.
Mariam, I have to interrupt. Sorry, I'm the bad guy. I have to do the timekeeping.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'll just take 2 more minutes. Okay.
Sure. और इसके बाद देखिए quick question हम ले सके और फिर we have to
Okay, I'll just take 1 minute then quickly. I'll just take 1 minute. Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry I got into
thank
the
you.
flow. I was like, I have a lot of time. Okay. Right. Let me just quickly run it through. Yes. So you see these statements. So these are cause and effect statements. I feel stressed here. When you start making excuses, when you start blaming others, you are at effect. When you start taking charge, you are at cause. I feel confident about my skills, cause. I am born unlucky, effect. I am born lucky, that's also effect if it's stopping you from action. I will share the slides with you, don't worry. Yes, please. Now follow these. You're a new startup, but you're an individual first. So please change your life like this so that you can accept changes in your business as business and in the demands and of the society as well. Take charge of your lives, push your boundaries. These are some quick nuggets that I've given you. Let's follow them. One is do not mind read, judge, label anything, anyone. See solutions in 3D if 2D doesn't make sense. That means try to see it from a different angle. Simple as that. There's always a solution. Always, always a solution. Change your perspective, your lens, question everything, find answers within you. No, you do not know everything, continue to learn. Yes, please, please don't ever feel that you know everything. Change your company, try it. This is a very good time for you to experiment with new things. Change your company, start meeting with people you've never thought of meeting. Attract new people, attract new energy, positive energy. You will feel it yourself. And your energy is finite. I can give you a full session on what does finite energy mean and how do you have finite energy, how you can use it wisely. But your energy is finite. Don't spend it on all the negative things happening in your life. Okay? And avoid conspiracies. So many conspiracy theories going on, just avoid them, please. Uh, and do this. This is 478. This is a practice for mindfulness breathing. This will ease you from panic attacks and anxiety instantly. Okay, you can search it on Google as well, how to practice 478. All right, it's an amazing breathing exercise. I've given a link as well here. I'll share the slides with Imran so he can share these with you, and then you can open and see the links as well. Okay, that's about it. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Mariam, we're short of time, but this was an
Yes.
amazing session. Honestly, loved it. And I suggest कि हम rather I request you कि हम एक follow up और session करते हैं इसके ऊपर ताकि इस
Okay.
topic को build करें और
All
इसमें
right.
हम जो questions है वो ये question सबसे पहले answer करेंगे इसी week के
ठीक है.
अंदर और
ठीक है.
उसके बाद discussion को build कर लेंगे.
Sure, inshallah. For
So
sure, I'm always available.
you're promising us another session?
I'm always there for CGI, for Imran Chitala, and for, of course, whoever wants to learn something new. Always there.
Thank you very much, audience. देखें मरियम ने on screen हमसे promise किया एक और session का. So see you soon again with another session with Mariam.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Imran.
Thank you very much, Mariam. It was an honor to host you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Guys, we'll take a short break और इसके बाद कोई 2 से 3 मिनट के अंदर we'll be back again on the same page, इसी page पे 5 मिनट बाद मिलते हैं. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.